Hi there, so I'm here to provide a bit of assistance with a worksheet on Corbett Maths. It's video 142, multiplying fractions. The request that's come in, we are happy with the skills section, but it's some of the questions later on in the apply section that are causing one or two problems. So what we're going to focus on is we're going to focus on questions 5, 6 and 7. So that's question 6 there. We'll just get to question 5 first to start with, which is that one there. So all I'm going to do is, rather than work through them, I'm just going to show you the question. I've done a wee bit of working to try and give you a hint, so I'll show you that, and then hopefully that'll be enough to allow people to get on with these questions. So question number 5, Kelly spends a quarter of her savings on driving lessons. So at this stage we know she's only got 3/4 of her savings left, and then it says Kelly then spends 2/3 of her remaining savings. So that's quite important. It's not 2/3 of her original savings, it's 2/3 of the 3/4 that was left. And we're asked what fraction of her savings has she spent in total. So the working is here. So we know she spent a quarter on her driving, so she's got 3/4 left. So what we're going to have to work out is what 2/3 of the 3/4 that's left is. And the way that we do that, that word of, if I say, what's 5 lots of 6, that means we would do 5 times 6. So I can replace that word of with a multiplying symbol. And now I'm going to do 2/3 multiplied by 3/4, and that's going to tell me what fraction of her remaining savings, or her original savings she's spent. It doesn't say what she spent it on, but she spent a quarter on driving. This answer that we get here will be the other fraction that she spent, and then we're asked for her total fraction spend. So the total that she's now spent will be the quarter that she spent on her driving lessons, and then whatever this remaining fraction is from this stage. So we'll work out this calculation first, add it to a quarter, and that will give us the total fraction of our savings spent. So remember, at this stage, when we're back into adding fractions, we'll need to make sure the denominators are the same before we go ahead and add those two fractions. So that's how we would tackle question number 5. Question number 6, it says what's 9/10 plus 5/7 all squared. So basically, a wee reminder, squaring a number means we need to multiply it by itself. So we'll do that multiplying step first, then add it to the 9/10. So if I go to the working then, I want to work out what this 5/7 squared is. So that means I'm going to go across here and do 5/7 multiplied by itself. So using our multiplying skills, we will get an answer here. I can then bring that answer back across and add it to my 9/10. And again, I'll be adding fractions, so I'll need to make the same denominators. And then for question number 7, we've got a wall measures 3 3/4 metres by 4 1/3 metres. Each tin of paint covers 2.5 metres squared and costs £5.50. Work out the cost of painting the wall. So the first thing we need to know is we need to know how much wall we've got. We need to know the area of the wall. So to calculate area, it's a rectangular wall, so we'll do length times breadth. We'll do its length of 3 3/4 multiplied by 4 1/3. But they are mixed numbers. We've looked at how to multiply mixed numbers. We'll be changing them to top-heavy fractions, and then we'll multiply out. That will then give us the area of the wall. What I'll then need to do is work out how many tins. So the number of tins I'll need is my area divided by 2.5, because that's the area one tin will cover. So I take my total area and I divide it by the area one tin will do to find out the number of tins I'll need. So in here will be my answer from this section, and I want to divide it by 2.5, which I'll change to 5/2. And then we've looked at how we divide fractions as well. So what we're going to do is a wee technique where we're allowed to flip the second fraction and change it to multiply. So that will tell us the number of tins that we will need. And then we're asked for the actual cost of painting the wall. So the cost will be how many tins we're buying multiplied by £5.50 for the cost for each tin. Okay, so hopefully those wee hints will help you with those 3 questions. as always, get the emails coming in or get into the chat function if any further help's required.